Hello, I'm Josra, and welcome back to Danganronpa. Where we left off, we're about to start the trial for who killed Nagito. So, let's continue. I'd say some... Hello, Spiral, how are you? You'll think of something. You could say it later in chat. This elevator ride. This will be the last time for this too, right? Wait, let me just... Okay, I can't move it. I hope so.
Well?
Let's worry about things after we're finished.
You are right.
I'm a little tired. I didn't get my nap today. More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us. We did some singing too, to make sure I don't sound tired. The killer managed to kill someone like Nagito. There's no way this is going to go smoothly. And my dogs and Oreos asked me to go inside again. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do that. Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. But even if he's gone, the ones who've survived need to stand and fight. We must fight. Oh, so I'm playing with my controller. Let's see how the sword fights go with controller. I don't know if you could hear my dog crying. Because he wants to get into my room. And then the door slowly opened. This bright light greeting us. Is that the light of hope? Or the light of despair? I tears my eyes. I'm gonna fail at this.
Well now.
And then... wait. You said well now, but... Well then. Now that the Chatterbox Nagito is gone, there are only 6 of you left.
Shut the hell up!
Just fuck start this already.
Hey!
Hey. This is it, right? This is really the last trial, right?
Yep.
Sure? I don't believe you. So, you gotta show enthusiasm and make sure you give it your all.
Alright!
Didn't I tell you? Tell you? He said it. This is the end.
Now then.
Let's get this trial started.
Viva killing!
This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other. This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is also the last class trial. That curtain is about to rise. Nagito Komaeda, the ultimate lucky student. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable. But his true nature held such a demented thought process that was nothing like his outward appearance. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that could overcome any despair. He said that he would even help despair just to prove that hope will never lose to despair. And he said that he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. But there was also times he saved us too. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. And I have no idea at all who did it, but I swear, if you say Among Us again, there's no way we can end this without knowing. Will we be consumed by despair? That's why we absolutely have to find out. The person who finished off Nagito. The killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Monokuma says this is really the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. And so, okay, he didn't make an Among Us reference this early. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, the last one, has begun. I'm gonna quickly sift through the truth bullets. Let's see, the file, torture wounds, burned rope, survival knife, blood on left hand, duct tape, spear of Gungnir, Monokuma plushie. There's a hole, so maybe something was used for it? Blood on girder, Monokuma panels, oil lighter, MP3 player, Sonia's account, Monokuma's account, Monomi's notebook, gas mask and gloves, piece of blue paper, Monokuma's special poison, Whole-Speak Academy file. Okay. I mean, I get equipped bullets, but I never really collected any more bullets. So yeah, just let's see how the controls are with controller.
Then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it.
Uh-huh.
If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh my, Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit? Chesto!
I don't think she's gonna say anything.
One more time! Jeez! How about this one? This will be my final blow!
She's not budging.
It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami.
Okay.
The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
I kinda wish you were the traitor so you could die.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito is here, right? Are they the same person? Or... torture with...
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up.
Wait, how do I change...
What were they trying to find out by torturing him?
How do I change...
Definitely
Oops.
the bomb's hiding place.
How do I change truth
If so,
bullets?
the suspect...
Huh. I mean, my mouse is disconnected because I didn't charge my second screen properly, so it's using the computer.
Is whoever found the bomb first?
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by
Okay,
coincidence.
I got it.
There's no way I'd torture someone.
I might need to listen to this twice.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up.
So I found a
I'm
weakness of the
telling you,
controller.
they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the
Oh.
killer tortured Nagito.
I found a button.
So that's why he was so beat up.
What were they trying to find out by torturing him?
But
Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
but he had
If
duct
so,
tape on him.
the suspect...
Is whoever found the bomb first?
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Okay. They couldn't have tortured because Nagito's what's the point of torturing if you just taped him shut?
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were
Oh,
torturing him.
that's the slowdown button.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Wait,
So that's why he was so beat up.
What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
If so,
Why couldn't
the
I-
suspect...
Is whoever found the bomb first?
why couldn't I have
That was
pressed
Fuyuhiko.
it?
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
I probably need to... I might need to switch back to old controls. Because this is confusing.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Why can't I press it?
So that's why he was so beat up.
What were they trying to find out by torture? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
Oh! I was pressing the wrong
If
button.
so, the suspect...
Is whoever found the bomb first?
Okay. I was pressing the wrong button.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I thought the click button was the same. Okay.
I found it by coincidence.
The white noise
There's
button.
no way I'd torture someone.
The white noise button is different. I see. Okay, I got it.
The
I got
killer
it.
didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
There, there we go. So it's a different button for white noise and the answer.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm prepared.
Uh-oh. Let's see how this plays out with the controller.
Ah, I just realized it. It's a trap.
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
Stupid? Let's see how this goes.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down!
Okay, it's
But if
actually
you
a lot
tape his mouth
easier.
shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
I think the answer is
Pay
tape.
attention, this is how it went down. First, the killer tortured and got information. Then, after they killed him...
Damn it!
Oops.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you obviously assume he couldn't talk. But that was the trap. They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down! But if you tape his mouth shut,
Oh wait, that's right. Confirmation
how is
button
he
is
supposed
different.
to answer anything?
Pay attention, this is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagi and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him...
Allow me to cut through those words!
They didn't. How would they? But he had duct tape on his
No.
mouth.
There's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
Because the blood.
What did you say?
I still need to get used to the controls. But the rebuttal is a lot easier with the
Who
controller.
cares about the
I mean,
duct
I mean,
tape?
it's confusing.
We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even
'Cause
began.
there's no blood underneath.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
Are you in elementary school or something?
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds. Which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
I'm pretty sure everyone has a grudge against Nagito here.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
Hmm? The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
We can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Which means, it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
But didn't we see that the Monokuma panels were like in dominoes? Maybe by pushing open the door, the panels got pushed.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect.
Shut it, degenerate.
Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
The reason for the fire, huh? You're right. We need to clear that up first.
The direct cause of the fire was
Okay.
the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup and lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
So I need to agree with someone.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
The Monokuma panel.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
Wait,
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
not sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused intense wind pressure to tip over the lighter.
The door. I missed it. I had pressed the wrong button. I still need to get used to it.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup and lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
Nope. They tipped.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
They used the door with the
Or
Monokuma.
perhaps opening the door caused
I agree with that. I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
just as I thought. It was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
No.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels.
They fell like dominoes.
A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
Dominoes.
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create
Yeah,
a domino
dominoes.
effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
Uh-huh.
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second.
Yep. Sorry, just adjusting my
And from
second
there,
screen.
they fell like dominoes until they
There we
reached
go.
the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
I mean, it was a little obvious.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
What did they use to distract us? I mean, they had the music, but is it really the music?
I see.
Oh, it is. I was prepared to get that
You're
wrong.
talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
Yeah, it was distracting us. The inside the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymn blared throughout the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? Yeah, it's really damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap? No, I'm not talking about the music. And as if on cue, it suddenly started.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
Yeah.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
It's fine. I'll open it slowly. No, that's not a problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Patter, patter. Huh? It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop it now. Didn't I tell ya? It'll be fine. I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protest, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. I don't need to make that sound effect.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And it tipped it over to the curtain.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Meaning someone couldn't get in.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
I'm pretty sure the factory only had one exit. So, was the killer still inside? But everyone was outside, unless Nagito committed suicide.
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
I'm pretty sure there were windows too. But Chiaki and I were thinking the same thing. If the door was the only entrance to the warehouse. I see. So the problem, Chiaki, is the killer couldn't have left.
See. If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Yeah. So Nagito killed himself?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean
But
they
how-
were hiding inside?
How did they tie up their limbs?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Huh?
You don't mean...
But if it's true, this murder...
Hajime? What do you mean?
The person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. All clues point to Nagito. Oh. Should I still do it?
This is my answer.
Okay.
What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget?
But one arm looks to be free because they have burnt rope. And if you're saying it's the fire who caused it, then why isn't the right leg burnt? The right leg's rope burnt. He faked the. It looks like he may have faked the right rope.
Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember?
Yeah,
Even
but
for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
he could have faked it. Because if they claim the right rope, if the right hand rope was burnt by the fire, then why isn't the left leg rope burnt?
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like he said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. Make your argument. Okay, burnt rope is there, so I guess that's the one we're choosing.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
I have an idea.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs.
No!
That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms
Let's
would...
speed this. Oops, wrong button.
You couldn't do much with...
It'd be impossible!
How about if you or if you use your
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Okay, I'll slow down time.
To actually tie up your own arm...
No, that's wrong.
Okay, my idea was right.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
But one arm is technically
No, it
free.
shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
Yeah. It's the left.
That was just burned by the fire.
Then how?
He should have been tied up before then.
Then how come the right leg?
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Also, his right sleeve wasn't burnt.
I see.
The right sleeve would have gotten
Take a
burnt
close
too.
look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Also, the right leg.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
Darn it, Sonia.
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito.
Thank you, Fuyuhiko.
I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious.
But his left hand also had blood on it. Right? Unless...
Hajime, you tricked me! Give me back that Benjamin!
Not only did she try to charge me, but now she wants the money back? What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
A way to stab your own right hand using your right hand. It's okay, there's definitely an answer for this. Let's listen. It's not the torture wounds. It's not the oil
Even if
lamp.
Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow
Prop?
and slammed his right hand down on it?
Wait,
Propped it onto what?
the Monokuma
If he
plush.
just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
The Monokuma plushie. It had a hole on it. That could have been used to prop the knife, right? Okay, it's gonna sound stupid, but I think the answer is Monokuma plushie?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that.
Huh. Huh.
The life-sized Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it.
Yeah.
If that's it, he had to
It's
place the plushie
simple.
near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
Yeah.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
I'm trying to play smart.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
It hasn't been an hour and this trial's already feeling long.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
I mean, it has a cord. He could have tied it up somewhere and propped it.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
There is a limit to his constitution.
Who knows?
If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Yeah. Kazuichi.
I'm
no.
sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
You're such a degenerate.
Say it one more time. I need to record it. For reasons.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out!
Yeah, Fuyuhiko, can you beat him up?
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
Monami sassing me!
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far, so...
Because everyone's desperate.
This might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
And are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
It had a cord.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible. I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together. That's how we made it this far up till now.
Everyone working together.
Uh-huh. She's right. We've made... I'm sorry if I'm not talking that much. I'm actually really tired, but... She's right. We've made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then, even now.
All right, let's do this.
There was blood on his left hand. Did that account to anything? Not the torture wounds.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
Oops.
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Yeah, but it had
And
blood
that
on
rules
it.
out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail. I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
What are you saying?
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
It doesn't rule out his left hand because his left hand has blood on it. Okay, I need to
How
slow
did
down
Nagito
time.
stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Okay, I need to.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, that's wrong.
His left hand had blood.
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange?
If the blood is on the outside, it's on the inside. There's a possibility he was clenching his fist. Yeah, he could have been clenching his fists. Why
He
would
only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
Why would he be clenching his fist?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
I mean, he could be gripping something. Either the spear or its cord.
That settles the description of that bloodstain, but it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
He probably had the cord wrapped around his hand.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
Gripping.
I see! When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear!
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild.
The not the tip of the spear. The end of the cord is also bloodied. And look, the cord is also missing. Well, a section of the cord is clean.
He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right. That's the problem.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
I'm sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle, just like fixing an old TV.
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
It's the cord.
I see!
It's obviously the cord.
That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
His fist.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
I mean, human fists have... Different people have different fist size.
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
He probably pulled it down from above because that's where the because there was blood on the girder.
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki? I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
Wait, my headphones is acting up. Nagito was gripping the cord, extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear? From above, because the girder had blood on it.
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
That's a long plan name.
One step at a time? What does that mean?
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was, and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Nagito was facing up, and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So if it's just before that. That's it. Could it be? The state of the spear, and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment. If I put those together and think about it, I should be able to figure out where the spear was and what state it was in before before it stabbed Nagito. Hangman's Gambit? No. Logic drive. Okay, so that's the speed up. This is the brake. That's the jump. Oh! Okay, I'm still fidgeting with the controls. Yep, definitely fidgeting. Question 1. Above Nagito. That's new. Oh, giving us new mechanics. It's telling me to go here. Slowly. There. There. Please don't tell me there's any more jumping. The girder. Because there was blood in it. Oh boy. I mean, it's slightly easier with the controller. It's just that it's still a little fidgety. The spear's cord. Because that's what connects the spear and the girder, right? Because the cord also has blood. Did I get that right?
It's all coming together.
Okay.
The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
From what I heard, apparently ghosts exist in Danganronpa.
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support. He hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
Yeah.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
It was too extravagant.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then, this is for real? He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear? That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
To drag out the traitor.
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
Jeez, and I was starting to feel a little sympathetic toward him. How stupid of me. Also, a clue that he's the killer is that his ex looks different. I completely underestimated his capacity for malice. See, look, a murder victim's ex is normal. A killer's ex is special. He has a special ex. A mind-boggling malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form of malice. That's the form his malice took. I had forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place?
He doesn't
If he
know.
had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
For someone who's a bit... I mean, yeah, he wanted to be a stepping stone for hope, but come on.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. The bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so he'd be executed.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense.
What?
It's probably just my imagination.
Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but Why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You're right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
I mean, the Monokuma file didn't really say his cause of death, right?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Just get it over with. In real life, they don't care. As long as they caught the killer, even if the killing method is wrong, they caught the killer.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is?
I feel like this
What kind of mystery is left?
I feel like this game is just, I don't know, extending.
There's just one
itself.
thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that even he couldn't mess with.
You're gonna keep going? Here I thought we were finally finished.
He couldn't tamper with the Monokuma file because that comes after his death, right?
I see.
Is it about the Monokuma file?
I think this is the first time the Monokuma file has been useful.
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
The victim is Nagito Komaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed into his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm, and the knife impaled through his right hand. It doesn't mention his cause of death, because the Monokuma files always say the cause of death. Like, it would say the spear killed him. Like, it would say the spear will be the cause of death. Suspicious part of the Monokuma file. Just like how when Mikan committed her murders, Monokuma didn't mention the time, because the heater would have messed up the body temperatures. What is it? What's hidden in the Monokuma file? What is it? What is it? Yes! Yeah, I think it's cause of death. We don't need A right now. Capture this. Come back. Crap. This is a lot harder. Oops. There's so much letters now. I need an A. Yes. Oh, it's okay. I can risk it. I can risk it. I lost a lot of health. Even though I still find this game fun. But I can just recover
In this
health.
particular case is Monokuma file. There's no specific cause of death.
Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and knife impaled through his right hand.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was a cause of death.
Even if the cause of death is obvious, the Monokuma file will still say it.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma, I plead the fifth!
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
But even during Gundam's case, and before during Mikan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was...
Are you saying
Whoops.
that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to
That's
Nagito's
always
death?
the most important mystery in the case.
Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first
It's
place.
still suicide.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide. But, it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations. And that concerns me.
I think the next Hangman's Gambit will kill me, but I don't care.
For example, would that malice just end here?
And plus, if it kills me, my health just regens, so...
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe.
Yep, they're definitely just extending this.
You're right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
This is friggin' annoying. But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Hey, Monokuma, you heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait!
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be all right. That's what I believe.
Aww. Splendid. You guys are so splendid right now. That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope that can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then, this situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. Ah, break time.
No!
Man, My heart was racing like crazy when I thought the voting time was gonna start, but... Well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Monomi? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you could stand the silence when you're all alone with someone else. So Monomi and I are the bestest of best friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. Enough. Why do I have to be hated that much? Besides, the fact that you snapped at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a tinsy tiny 1mm bit. How sad. Distrusting your friend is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know. We aren't even friends in the first place. And as your older brother, let me say this. You're not even my brother. It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder when watching a high school rom-com full of guys. Well, there may be some demands for that. I fell for it. I totally took the man bait. Okay.
I'm Monomi. By now, there's nothing more for me to say. Anyway, my chest is full of pride right now. Everyone is united against despair. They're totally awesome.
If you say so.
That's why I'm gonna fight too. I will fight the only way I can. I'm gonna show that guy my fearsome retaliation. That's basically it.
So if we're working together, where do we start? With the cause of death missing from the Monokuma file?
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions before we discuss this? In the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming Nagito's death was caused by the spear. It's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities. That's what I think.
Other possibilities.
I mean, there's still the poison bottle.
If something other than the spear killed Nagito, all I can think of is the knife stabbed into his hand, but...
That was definitely a gruesome wound, but it wouldn't be the fatal wound, don't you think?
Yeah.
If you think the cuts on his legs and left arm aren't the fatal wounds...
Are we finished already?
I feel like... it's possible that we overlooked something.
Overlooked? Huh.
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Exactly! We should cooperate at a time like this.
A fatal wound that wasn't the spear. We don't even know if it actually exists, but if it does, we need to find out what it is no matter what. Let's listen to what everyone says. Like I said, there's still the poison, but how could he have poisoned himself? I remember the poison bottle mentioned something about vapors.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand,
that
right?
took a lot of health.
It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
Yes, the poison.
If it's something that can't be seen,
That can't be seen.
maybe he choked himself with a sleeper hold. Or liquefied his guts with a body blow.
Just thinking about it, that's already a horrible death.
Oops. Oh, it is definitely the poison, and we have to shoot Sonya.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand, right? It's not the other wounds, right?
And I need to slow down time so I don't miss it.
With all those wounds, Maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was a cause of death something that cannot be...
I agree with that. That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
Poison?
Mm-hmm.
It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
I remember when I went to investigate Nagito's
My
cottage,
second
I
screen
discovered
froze
something
up.
really strange. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
And it mentioned to stay away from sunlight. It could be vaporized and it could be drank, obviously.
Poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing. I see. Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
If poison was a cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see. You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
What does that mean?
But even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
That's why Nagito stabbed himself.
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
I mean, the bottle says he could vapor it.
His left hand was tied up and gripping the spear, and his right hand had a knife stuck in it.
If it was a slow-acting poison, it is possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
Then it's impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
His mouth was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might be impossible. Just kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Are there any left?
The bottle says he could vapor it.
Hell no! No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear.
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him. Operation Elimination Method. The hint should be written on the poison's warning label. Maybe.
Vapors. The way the poison entered Nagito's body. The answer is written on the warning label. I should think carefully and try to remember it. What is it this time? What was the controls again? I already forgot. I'll just take it a little slow. Okay. Oh no. Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't need to jump anywhere. It could have been a gas. Vapors, right? There's no way it was a solid, and there's no way it could be a liquid because the bottle was still in his room. And it's an instant effect. That's just storage. My computer just gave me a notification for storage. I still need to clean up my storage. I'm just preparing just in case there's a jump. Cause I don't want it to end up like Lost Stream. Looks like, please don't tell me there's it. I really hate this mini. I really hate this mini game. It looks like it didn't matter. Question 2. Nose? It's either his nose or his mouth. But his mouth was covered by duct tape, but even then, you could still inhale it. But I'll go for nose. I'll go for nose right now. Take this slowly. I know I have 2 minutes left, but slow and steady wins the race. There we go. Is it right? Is it nose?
It's all coming together.
Oh, I forgot to press the button. Okay, that's good. It is the nose.
What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
This enhanced liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though it's... I forgot to read that. Validity is low. The volume is... The liquid is very dangerous when vaporized.
Dangerous when vaporized. In other words, breathing in the gas is fatal.
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe it in through his nose!
He breathed that poisonous gas inside the warehouse? But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the warehouse, why didn't it kill us?
I mean, there was the sprinklers to wash it out, right?
I see! The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison gas.
The poison gas disappeared because of the sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
I mean, it would have made a lot more sense if it was the smoke.
Well, this was also written on the poison's warning label.
In a gaseous state, it is heavier than air. It breaks down in minutes and is susceptible to hydrolysis. Hydrolysis, yeah. So it is possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications.
Of course! Hydrolysis! The chemical bonds that formed the poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers!
Also, the poison is apparently denser than air, so it probably didn't affect us because we were standing.
But Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it, huh?
If it meets the requirements that well, maybe it's not just a possibility anymore.
And then when he died, he dropped the spear.
Yeah, the true cause of Nagito's death was poisoning. The wounds on his body, the spear in his stomach, it was all to keep us from learning the truth.
So what?
Huh?
We figured out that Nagito died from poison, but so what? In the end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right?
For once, you're the one.
Then enough already!
For once, you and I agree.
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died. Yeah, that still sounds like a suicide.
Well, with this, we have a clearer picture. We've also determined the true cause of death. All right. All the mysteries should be solved now. We should get on with the voting time, right?
Well, but...
What? There's still more?
I mean, not all the mysteries have been solved yet. In the end, Nagito's motive is still unclear. Did he commit suicide so he can kill he could kill every last one of us? Was that really his motive? Is that really okay?
Hey, what happened? There's no reason to wonder about that stuff anymore, you know.
Nagito's motive. Nagito's malice. Is this really okay? Can we really finish this here? No, that can't be.
There might have been an accomplice.
Huh?
Chiaki, what did you just say?
If Nagito committed suicide by inhaling poison that he brought, then why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
Let me think.
Anything that looked like poison?
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse, it's strange that we couldn't find it there.
Nagito brought... Then the thing that... The container.
I see! Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Wait, the fire grenades didn't work. Is there a possibility that the fire grenades were fake? Because Sonia said... Was it Sonia? Or was it someone else? They said when they went to the storeroom for... When they went to the storeroom in the factory, they saw a bunch of fire supplies. But when they went there was no other fire supplies but the fire grenades. And the fire grenades didn't work on the fire, so there's a possibility that the poison was disguised as the fire grenade. I think.
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, it's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
He can't carry around poison without putting it in a container?
Yeah, that was written on the warning label.
Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place, in a glass or plastic container, away from sunlight.
The container probably melted in the fire.
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate. Even the plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
Yep, it's definitely the fire grenades.
Then, does that mean someone got rid of the container?
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
That is impossible. I mean, an accomplice? It is just two.
Like, does that really matter all that much?
Wait,
I mean, even if he had an accomplice, it doesn't change the fact that Nagito still committed suicide.
yeah.
You're right. Someone might have accidentally took it away from the crime scene.
Ah, you're right. You're totally right. That's totally it.
Right? Isn't it okay to close this case yet? I'm not in the mood for unexpected twists.
I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to get hurt anymore by hurting someone else. Everyone's tired of doubting everyone else. I also feel that way. That's why I want to just rule this as Nagito's suicide. But if I do that, nobody here has to get hurt. But
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito's suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us. He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh? The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh? A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga.
I mean, is Danganronpa a teen manga?
Still, that's pretty messed up.
Shut up! You just be quiet.
I get what you're saying, but In the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right? Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
Even if there really was an accomplice, is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who it is? Like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
It's fine, okay? There are some things we're better off not knowing. And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
What is this feeling just now? Yeah, Akane sold it. Even though it was brief, it was like a strong flash of light running through the back of my head. Maybe what Akane said just now might be a new clue. From there, I might be able to reach the answer. The way Nagito brought the poison, which means the thing that he used as a container was... Yeah, I'm probably gonna die here because now that it's a lot quicker and the controller isn't as fast as a mouse. Okay. Move this here. Okay. Oh, there. Move. Move. Crap. Move. No. I need that R. I need this. Wait, why is it deleting? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm pressing the wrong button. Where's the R? Wait. Oh, darn it, I deleted that. Oh, it's an E. Gran. No! I needed that N. I needed that N. Yes. I need a D. Crap, I missed. Come on. I need an RE. I said I need an E. There.
I got it!
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes because I kept pressing the wrong button.
I see! I got it!
Huh?
The fire grenades! Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters and transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone.
Even though it's harder now, I still really enjoy Hangman's Gambit.
Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place. As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse, it can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
I mean, in games like Hangman's Gambit, it's a lot slower, but it has more mobility, so it's a lot easier when it comes to like logic drive and the sword fight. Also, yeah.
That bastard.
They're probably
He
busy.
totally knew we were gonna
Which
throw
is
those
understandable.
fire grenades.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
The blue piece of paper.
Hajime. Could it be?
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
Seriously? That's impossible. Miss Sonia just said so right now.
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade.
Huh?
The blue wrapper. Where is it?
I can prove it with this. Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No, that is not just a piece of trash. The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this. It is the same aluminum.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's bed?
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room. We also found a gas mask and gloves under his bed, too.
Did he use those when he put the poison inside the fire grenade?
It's a dangerous poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping them.
I'm gonna lose a. I'm probably gonna die around the what do you call it? The final thing. The what do you call it? The storyboard one.
So what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in, and died, right? So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide. Enough already!
You're right. If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See, I told you. The conclusion is still the same. Nagito committed suicide. End of story.
Unless, I don't know. He had everyone throw, right?
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. That was just my misunderstanding.
You're right.
In actuality, the truth is even more horrifying.
What did you say?
Hey, what are you planning to say now?
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide.
No, it's not.
Chiaki?
I'm sorry, but I just realized it.
Realized what?
We know Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison. So when was it deployed in the warehouse? When did Nagito breathe in the poison? When I thought along those lines, that's when I realized it.
The horrifying truth?
It probably happened at the same time.
The moment was when we threw it, right?
I see! Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yeah, I think so. When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse, the poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito.
If that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
One of us?
What the heck?
One of us threw the poisoned grenade that killed Nagito?
Was he testing his luck?
Hold on a sec. Then Nagito was...
It would mean he didn't kill himself.
What the heck? You said so yourself! You said Nagito committed
He
suicide!
forced someone to kill him.
Then who killed Nagito?
You mean, who's the actual killer, right?
Do you know?
Who prepared the poison fire grenade that killed Nagito?
Huh? still Nagito.
I see.
It was Nagito, obviously. We just discussed this a few minutes ago.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw the poisoned grenade?
Nagito.
I see.
That was also Nagito.
Hey, how many times are you gonna ask the same damn question?
The next question will be my last. Considering all the facts up till now, why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
To make someone throw the
I
poison.
see.
Don't tell me. He set the warehouse on fire just so we'd have to throw the fire grenades?
He set the fire just so we'd put it out? Why'd he do that?
It was a trap.
A trap?
Preparing the poison. Creating a reason for us to throw the poison. It was all a setup by Nagito. It was all a trap to make one of us throw the poison grenade.
The traitor.
Seriously, I'm
So-
asking you who threw it.
So he was testing his luck then.
I don't know. The person who threw it probably didn't know either.
Huh? Could it be? Was that Nagito's trap?
This wasn't an intentional murder. This was a murder that Nagito forced someone to do. And for that reason, he put the fire grenade that he filled with poison with the other grenades. Setting up a murder nobody can solve. That was Nagito's true goal.
What? What the hell?
And how does Monokuma know?
Nagito did not commit murder. Instead, he manipulated someone else into killing him?
So it was an assisted suicide.
To do that, he set a trap to force someone to kill him. The poison grenade and the fire were traps. That's why the curtain was the fire's origin point. All the fire grenades we threw at the curtain shattered once they fell to the floor. Because of that, Nagito, who was laying face up on the floor, was able to breathe in the dense poison. And then...
Hold on! If that's true, you can't say the poison was the cause of death. It might be the poison's fault he let go of the spear, but the actual cause of death could be either one.
Even so, the poison is what caused him to let go of the spear.
That's right! Nagito's killer is the one who made him breathe the poison!
Are you fucking serious?
That was his trap all along. Even the wounds all over his body, it was all to mess with the evidence for what actually happened. His true goal was creating a murder that nobody can solve. He wanted to prove to us that there are mysteries that just can't be solved with educated guesses.
He probably expected that his fake suicide would be found out.
It's not really fake. He planned to die. So it's an assisted suicide.
After all, a mystery that can be solved is destined to be solved in the end. However, he also prepared a mystery that couldn't be solved. As you solve mysteries and bolster your hope, a huge mystery comes along and slaps you in your faces. For those of you who believe there are no unsolvable mysteries, that is when you finally taste despair. Meaning, he used all of the prior class trial verdicts to prepare this trick.
Oh.
Not all mysteries can be solved. Such a devious trick he played on you, as expected of Nagito.
That's totally messed up. That's so fucked up.
It is my fault, because I told you all about the fire grenades. I am so sorry. Please vote me as a killer.
That's not the fucking issue here.
It's not Miss Sonia's fault. This is all Nagito's doing.
But what should we do? How can we even figure out who the killer is?
It's impossible.
Impossible?
Nagito wanted to create a scenario where we couldn't make a decision. That's why we're at an impasse.
However, Monokuma also does not know who the killer is, right?
That's right! There's no way he'd be able to figure that out with just his surveillance cameras! If Monokuma doesn't know, this trial doesn't count! Isn't that right?
You know, I don't actually need stuff like cheap-ass surveillance cameras or whatever. I know perfectly well what's happening on this island at all times.
Okay, that's fueling my VR theory.
I know you used the bathroom 3 times yesterday, Sonia. And one of those visits seemed to take a while.
Please stop! I will never become queen!
Oh no.
How can you... I'm so jealous. I mean, how can you have such an awful power?
Degenerate.
So, of course this trial still counts. Do your very best to guess who the killer is.
Yes, he says. How the hell are we supposed to do that?
Is giving up all we can do?
No, it's too early to give up.
Is there any way to figure out who the killer is?
Wait. A message just appeared. No,
Even though it's just a hunch, it's possible that it's probably... There's one way, I think.
Really?
Hey, is it alright if we look at Nagito's crime one more time from the beginning?
Don't tell me it's a storyboard one. I suck at this. 'Cause I don't like
I want to make sure my hunch is correct. Hajime, please.
That's right. It doesn't mean the trial's over yet. Even though I don't know who killed Nagito, it should be clear what kind of trap he set. Then I have to do it. Even if it leads to despair.
I got it. Let's do this then.
I could take my time. Because I tend to rush it. Stock one. The sprinkler's a repeat. So... if I were to guess... Yep. That was very lucky. When did he prepare the video? No, that can't be it. Come on, I have 9 minutes. I don't know when he prepared the video, but I have an idea of where the scattered. Yeah. But when did he prepare the video? When did he prepare the video? They can't be here. Crap. There's no way he prepared it then. Come on, Jaws, think. Did he prepare the video? If I were to guess, it's around here, right? Because we saw the video, then we came running. That was a lucky guess. That's a repeat. Okay, that's a repeat, so that's not it. I'm guessing he put this on his mouth? Okay. Let's see. Let go of the rope. I could take all the time I need, right? I mean, I have 6 minutes. That's a repeat, so that's not it. This is a repeat too, so meaning the bottles. And the bottles. Oops. Crap. Okay. What? Okay. That's a repeat. The plushie doesn't have... The plushie doesn't have a thing. A knife here, even though that would logically make sense. I'm gonna run out of time. Where does this plushie go? Oh, never mind. Okay, the blue wrapper should be here. Yes. I mean the rope. That it?
Here's everything that happened in this case.
Okay.
The person who actually arranged this incident was the victim, Nagito Komaeda.
Komaeda.
He kept a specific item inside his cottage that he needed for his
I
plan.
mean, some of it was obvious, some of it wasn't.
Monokuma's special poison, which he brought with him from the Octagon. Using the gloves and gas mask that he got from the military base,
Imagine he accidentally killed himself.
Nagito swapped the contents of a fire grenade he took from the plushie factory break room with that poison. When he did that, a specific item was left as evidence, the blue aluminum seal on the grenade. With that, Nagito finished making the poisoned fire grenade, took it with him to the factory,
How long does a trial last, like canonically? Like gameplay-wise, it's like 3+ hours.
and put it back with the rest of the grenades in the break room. The next morning, Nagito appeared before us and declared that he hid a bomb somewhere.
Why is everyone considered a murderer?
While we were looking for the bomb, that's when Nagito headed over to the goods warehouse. In order to set up a fire, Nagito arranged the Monokuma panels in a line going from the door to the curtain and placed an oil lighter in front of it. From there, Nagito set his insane plan in motion. First, he hung the spear that he took from Nezumi Castle from the ceiling girder by its cord. Then he tied his arms and legs at the back of the warehouse with rope. However, he burnt off the rope on his right arm beforehand. In doing so, he made sure that only his right hand was free while his remaining arm and legs were tied up. As he gripped the tip of the rope hanging over the ceiling girder with his left hand, he lay down face up, just beneath the dangling spear. But this was just the beginning of Nagito's plan. And then, he did something no one could have predicted. First, he covered his mouth with duct tape, and after making sure he was unable to scream, he stabbed himself with the knife multiple times in his left arm and in both of his thighs. Finally, he propped the knife on the plushie and slammed his right hand onto the blade. He didn't just want us to think he was tied up, he also wanted us to think he'd been tortured. Through all this, Nagito never let go of the spear.
Imagine he did, prematurely.
His plan still wasn't over. In fact, it was just about to begin. Meanwhile, we finally arrived at the plushie factory and found Nagito's message. After seeing his message, we instantly made our way to the warehouse. But that was part of Nagito's plan. We opened the door to the warehouse, which inadvertently started the Monokuma panel domino effect. The panels fell one after another until they reached the lighter, tipped it over, and ignited the curtain. Shocked by the sudden fire, we rushed to the factory's break room to obtain some fire-extinguishing grenades.
So he was relying on his luck then.
We then aimed for the fire's origin point, which was the curtain, and unloaded the entire supply. It never occurred to us that one of those grenades was the poisoned grenade that Nagito had prepared. The poison sank to the floor, instantly vaporizing due to the intense heat, and spread everywhere. The poison gas quickly drifted to the curtain at the back of the warehouse, where Nagito was. Also, Monokuma's poison has a unique quality in which it becomes heavier than air when vaporized. That poison gas completely surrounded the area where Nagito lay face up on the floor. There, Nagito inhaled the poison, and if it didn't instantly kill him, he certainly lost consciousness. Which caused him to let go of the rope in his left hand, and the falling spear plunged into his stomach.
We haven't had the rhythm game yet, so I wonder how that'll play out.
This is all the information related to Nagito's plan. His true intention was to set one of us up as the killer. At this time, we still don't know who the killer is, because the killer wasn't aware they killed someone. Try as we might, we cannot reach that truth. That was Nagito's trap. In conclusion, the fact that we can't determine the killer's identity.
Oh wow, why is Hajime like
This
that?
should be the truth behind Nagito's trap.
How about it, Chiaki? Will that help you figure out who the killer is?
Chiaki?
Just as I thought. It's impossible, isn't it?
You say we just have to vote for someone?
What Hajime said is probably true. That's part of the reason why I thought it was a little strange. Did Nagito really not care who the killer was?
Huh?
He said this to us earlier.
It's going to be fine. I'm pretty sure everything will work out in the end. After all, there's no way hope can lose. Absolute hope that can break through any despair can never lose hope in a place like this. Not only that, I believe in you all. I believe in the time we spent together.
That feeling of belief is at the heart of his trick. He believed we'd notice the fire grenades. He believed we'd try to extinguish the flames.
Because of his luck.
And he believed we'd fall into his trap.
He did tell us he believes in his luck.
By believing in us, Nagito was able to put his life-threatening plan into effect.
What do you mean, believe?
And what's wrong with that?
There's one more thing, remember? Something that Nagito believed in from the bottom of his heart.
His luck.
I want you to try to remember what that is.
Hajime.
I see! Nagito believed in his talent as the ultimate lucky student.
After all the time we've spent together, I believe in you guys. And more than anything, I believe in my ultimate luck. So it's definitely going to be alright.
Guess the last thing he could believe in was his own talent.
That's not so strange, really. Most of us here have been relying on the same thing.
But, in his case, it was pretty remarkable, wasn't it? It almost seemed like
Whoops! I skipped. Whoops. I accidentally pressed that button. I'll read the transcript. But in his case, it was pretty remarkable, wasn't it? It almost seemed like he had blind faith in it. You're right. The same thing happened when he cleared the final dead room at the fun house. That was a Jaws moment. It wasn't life-threatening at all. It was just a little escape game that ended with some Russian roulette. Russian roulette? It's a game where you load one bullet in a gun, spin the cylinder, point it toward you, and pull the trigger. So, you really did it? Ah, so that's how you're supposed to play it. So it would have been fine if I'd only used one bullet, huh? I guess it was just as Monomi said. Huh? I misunderstood and thought that I had to take one bullet out of the cylinder, so that's how I did it. You only had a 1 in 6 chance of surviving. I'm still alive. After all, the only good thing about me is how lucky I am. And he did the same thing when the first killing happened at the old building near the hotel. He depended on his luck and was able to get cleaning duty just as he wanted. That's right, I just trusted my luck. I trusted I'd be picked for cleaning duty. You just relied on your luck? It's not just luck. It's true my talent is trash, but I'm still the ultimate lucky student, you know? Huh? I'm left with a red mark. For someone called the ultimate lucky student, you don't seem very lucky right now. At the time, Hajime said I wasn't lucky, but it was actually the opposite. I was lucky. That's why I got picked for cleaning duty, just like I wanted.
But his luck doesn't have anything to do with the case this time, right?
I just thought it was strange that it doesn't connect to anything. He factored in his belief in us, but for some reason he didn't factor in his own luck. No, there's no way. I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about.
What did he do?
You know, he wasn't just after anybody.
It was after the traitor.
He probably had a target. A target he was aiming for all along. A person to set up as the killer.
A target? Who?
The target's true identity. Even Nagito didn't know it. That's why he relied on being the ultimate lucky student, and incorporated that luck into his plan. As long as he had his luck, he believed the target he was after would pick up the fire grenade.
You mean he left his plan to luck?
He risked his life for that?
He probably risked his life just so his ultimate luck could decide this.
Who is it? Who's the target Nagito is after?
It's the traitor.
I see.
It should be obvious, he keeps talking
That's
about it.
The traitor. Nagito was after the traitor, huh?
Then he relied on his luck to weed out the traitor?
Nagito didn't know who the traitor was until the very end. All he could do was rely on his own luck.
Then what he said in his video message...
It won't work with just any student handbook. If you want to disarm that bomb, you have to use the traitor's student handbook. To be honest, I found out who the traitor was after secretly monitoring everyone's activity. The person who scanned their handbook was Chiaki. But I was a little annoyed that they never came forward.
So he was just bluffing.
That's probably true. By that point, his plan should have already been in motion.
Then it's just as Nagito said at the beginning. His purpose was to weed out the traitor. If we just believed in what Nagito said, we could have reached the answer much quicker. The reason this took so damn long, was it because he didn't believe in him? We didn't believe in him?
But if he just wanted to out the traitor, he didn't have to go this far and make that person the killer. Damn it! We're all in a huge bind because of that!
It means he wants us to beat the traitor.
By finding out who the traitor is, our hopes will shine even brighter by overcoming that despair. That's something he'd say.
Monami, it looks like you've got something you want to say. But you better just keep your mouth shut.
And that concludes my argument. Nagito's plan was to make the traitor kill him. What are you gonna do? Are you guys gonna believe me?
He relied on his luck to aim for a target, but he didn't even know who he was aiming for. It sounds way too unbelievable to have actually happened, but
The only thing we can do is believe.
If we don't, then we'd just be relying on our luck when we cast our votes.
But even if we do believe, what should we do? I mean, if we don't know who the target is, there's no way we can even vote.
You are absolutely right. It is hard to think the traitor would reveal themselves now.
If, by chance, the traitor revealed themselves during that bomb scare, what would have happened? Would it have stopped Nagito from acting so reckless?
you're the only... Chiaki was the only one who scanned her handbook.
Huh?
But they couldn't help it. Even if they wanted to reveal themselves, they couldn't do it.
So she was the traitor. It's the way she's talking right now.
Because they weren't created to do that.
Created?
Chiaki?
What's wrong, Chiaki? Get a hold of yourself!
That's why I want you guys to guess.
You want us to guess?
Yeah, I want you to guess.
What? What does that mean?
Who do you think it is, Hajime?
I mean, the way she was talking, and she was the only one who scanned her handbook.
Who do you think the Future Foundation sent to infiltrate your group as the traitor?
So, all the evidence are pointing towards Chiaki.
Why?
A traitor who's not allowed to think that they're different from everyone else.
Why?
A traitor who can only interact with everyone as a traitor.
Why?
Because that's the nature of their existence. They can only exist as a traitor.
Huh. Hi, Joss. Oh, hello, Firewall. How are you?
Seriously, why?
Who do you think is the traitor?
I think it's Chiaki. Just the way she's speaking right now.
Hajime, please.
It's... you?
I'm tired. I haven't had a nap. How are
Chiaki,
you?
You're the traitor?
Please! Hold on!
You totally guessed right. Just as expected. Yep, you're correct. I'm the traitor. The agent sent by the Future Foundation to hide among you all is me.
Damn it. Why? This is... this nonsense is... Why? Why does this make sense?
Hey, Chiaki. Are you being serious right now?
Chiaki is the traitor? That is a lie, right? Surely you must be joking.
I hope I could cheer you up. Too bad it's not Nekopata, because I know a lot of people had a blast with that one.
I'm sorry. It's the truth.
Hey, what are you saying sorry for?
What does this mean? You... Up till now... You've been tricking us?
Are you trying to tell us that the Future Foundation might be the good guys?
What? We were not tricked!
Are they still bad?
After all, we have been working together all this time. We have been helping each other all this time. Chiaki, being a traitor, being a member of that horrifying Future Foundation, that is obviously a lie.
Please, wait! The Future Foundation isn't what you think it is!
Shut the fuck up! We're talking to Chiaki!
So it looks like the Future Foundation were the good guys then. Because the way we can't really trust Me either.
No, I have nothing more to say.
Why?
What was your brother blasting in the background? He was blasting a TV show, and I couldn't go to sleep because it was so loud.
Cause we already know the killer's true identity. So the only thing left to do is vote.
Hold on! We're not satisfied yet!
If you say you are the traitor, please provide an explanation that will help us understand. We cannot go
Also,
until
I'm
we
using
are
a controller
satisfied.
right now
That
for
is what you said
Danganronpa.
earlier, Chiaki.
Wait, YouTube kind of slowed down, so...
Hey, if you're really the traitor, why'd you wait till now to reveal yourself?
It's weird, isn't it? Waiting until right now to out yourself.
When was... No. I'm not gonna do that. So what do you think of this case so far? I don't know.
It's definitely strange, right?
My
Or rather,
my second screen
why
blinded.
was I able to do that? Maybe... I wanted to protect everyone, no matter the cost.
I mean, it's an assisted suicide.
Hey Hajime, can you do me a small favor?
Favor? Me?
I want you to prove to them that I'm the traitor.
Why?
What? What are you saying? Why do I have to do that?
I want to explain everything to you guys, but... as I expected, that's rather difficult. That's why... the only thing I can do is plead with you. I want you to do it. I believe you can prove it.
Okay. Oh.
Whether I can prove it or not,
So that's what that
that's
button
not
does.
the problem. Don't you understand? You may as well be asking me to kill you. There's no way I can do that.
Gamer girl.
I'm very sorry, but this is the only way. So please...
She said created. She's either a robot, or if my VR theory is true, she could be a program. Because people will say you're born, not created.
Looks like we gotta do what we can.
Unless she's like an military experiment.
It's not like I believe she's the traitor. There's just no way we can ignore this without confirming it.
If she was just disguised or something, this would have been a heck of a lot easier for us to understand, but...
She's not disguised at all! 'Cause Chiaki isn't the traitor.
Monami?
Too bad. I'm not part of the same group as that girl. I don't know anything about that girl at all.
She's lying.
Hey, are you trying to cover for her like that? You suck!
I've always been alone. I have no friends. Anywhere. That's why I have no relation to Chiaki whatsoever.
Wait.
Hajime, you're going to listen to my request, right?
My second screen is acting. You never... Nope, I'm not. Ever since episode 1 because of the glitch. Wait. Damn it.
Chiaki isn't my friend. I hate Chiaki so much.
Yeah, she's really covering up for her. Monami and Chiaki's relationship. Proving it here is the only way. Is that the only way? Okay, let's...
Hajime, you stupid face! Let's all get along.
How do I refill?
I won't let you. Let's all get along. First open and mix.
How do I refill? Because I'm using a controller. This is my first time using a controller.
Stupid face. I won't let you. First open and mix.
I don't know how to reload.
I'll lower your grades. Disappear. Hajime, you stupid face. Let's all get along. I'll lower your grades. Hajime, you stupid face. Chiaki and I
Ma-
aren't best friends.
Wait. Crap. Crap.
Let's all get along.
I didn't know the button for it.
I won't let you. Let's all get along.
It was Monami's notebook.
First open and mix. Chiaki and I
Oops.
aren't best friends.
That I made a mistake. Because I expected it to be the same. Because I don't know the buttons.
Chiaki and I aren't best friends.
Monomi's notebook.
This is the end! When we investigated Nagito's cottage, I discovered a notebook with a new Sami logo on it. That's your notebook, right? The one Nagito stole from you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't tell me. Is that where the traitor's true identity is written?
That's right! Since I knew something like this would happen, I made sure to bring it here today.
So sudden?
Give me that notebook.
Day 1, I was able to talk to everyone for the first time. Monokuma showed up and things turned bad. Day 2, Byakuya is the leader. A lot of things happened today, so everyone's tired.
Huh? What is this? Is this Monami's diary?
But the thing is, she doesn't have fingers.
Is the traitor's identity written in here?
Nagito was probably looking for that too, so that might be why he stole the notebook. But you wouldn't know who the traitor is just by reading this notebook. Of course, Nagito wouldn't know either. However, it's different for me.
You know?
It took me this long, but I finally understand.
No, the truth is, I might have already known the moment I found this notebook. It's just I wanted to turn my eyes from the truth it contained. But now I clearly know. I can't help but know.
First of all, this isn't Monami's diary. Apparently she can't write.
Then the one who wrote this is...
Someone connected to Monami.
Monokuma doesn't
Meaning,
have...
it's not a mistake to think that the traitor wrote it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Monokuma also confessed that he can't write either.
If so, is this like a report that the traitor was sending to Monami?
Is it evidence that they were observing our actions and reporting to Monami?
But how would you know who the traitor is from that?
Because there's an entry written in here that only me and one other person would know.
Thought we would discuss this in the final dead room.
In the notebook, there was a specific entry.
We've been in the funhouse for 3 days. Everyone's hungry and on edge. Hajime tried to go in the final dead room today. He's probably panicking because no one believes him.
There it is. It's true. I tried to go inside the final dead room. But the only one who knew that
Was Chiaki. If I win the life-threatening game, I'll be able to go to the octagon place, right? That's where the exit should be. I did it. I finally did it. I finally figured out where the exit is. Later, I can send you a webpage. It's fine. I can get out. With this, I can finally get out. You can't do that. You shouldn't go in there. You won't find what you're looking for.
That's right. The only person who knew that is Chiaki. That's why Chiaki is the only person who could have possibly written about this.
There must be some mistake. I mean, if Chiaki is the traitor, what was all that time we spent with her? Was that all a lie too?
Poor Sonia, like, she practically lost her best friend last trial, and now she's losing another person she's close to.
Miss Sonia.
Shut up, degenerate.
Chiaki is... She is being controlled by Monokuma. That is why we should help her.
I'm not satisfied either.
No. I'm not letting that degenerate touch her. I don't care about shipping, but I will never accept it. I don't ship Kazuichi with anyone because he's a degenerate.
I mean, if you were the traitor, there's no way you do something so stupid when we found the bomb.
It's really stupid to be fighting over something like this. And so, with an annoyed expression on her face, Chiaki walked over to the bombs without saying a word. Took her handbook out of her pocket. Huh? And without hesitating, swiped the card reader. Looks like it was wrong.
Now that you
You're
mention
gonna
it,
say that word.
Chiaki immediately went to the card reader with her handbook.
V3. Huh. And then she said it was
She
wrong.
tested it out right away after being told it would only react to the traitor's handbook.
That doesn't make any sense. A traitor would be more cautious than that.
Chiaki probably knew the bomb was a fake. That's why she also knew Nagito's trap was a bluff.
She knew? That is a mistake! That must be a mistake! Why are you saying such things? Do you really want Chiaki to be the traitor?
Of course not.
I'm starting to see that there's a average lobby. I'm starting to think the Future Foundation might not be able.
I will not believe it! I refuse to believe Chiaki is a traitor! There is just no way!
I mean, in Marvel, the Future Foundation is more neutral in Marvel, actually. I don't want to believe it either. I don't want to believe, but
Then nobody will be saved.
make your argument. Let's hear.
Chiaki is not the traitor!
When we were trying to turn off the bomb, didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious.
There's no
Oops.
way Chiaki would have known if that bomb was fake or not. The only person who knew it was a fake was me, when I tried to detonate it.
Unless you know a
Really?
whole lot about bombs. There's no way you know if it's fake just by looking at it.
But your account says otherwise. Nagito would have known too. I don't want to believe it, but so I think the bullet we're using, where's Spider Monokuma then? I don't know. I have to move forward. I have to. Okay, it's probably
Chiaki
Sonia's
is not
account.
the traitor.
Look how
When we
fast.
were trying to turn off the bomb, didn't Chiaki use the card reader right away?
If she's a traitor, she would have been more cautious.
There's no way Chiaki would have known if that bomb was fake or not. The only person who knew it was a fake was me, when I tried to detonate.
That's not it. That's not it. Sonia shouldn't have been the only one who knew it was a fake.
I have a little bit of health left, so I could probably die at any moment. It's Hangman's Gambit took a lot of my health, but still, I don't care. It's still my favorite game because it was still fun. Also, I realized controller is slower than mouse when it comes to Hangman's Gambit.
Monami was also
but
there
that's
when you
fine.
found out the bomb at the military base wasn't real.
If you fail, it'll just reset all your health.
You said so yourself.
But I still don't like Logic Drive, even though the controller makes Logic Drive a lot easier.
Is that true, Miss Sonia?
Chiaki heard about it from Monami. That's why she knew the bomb was a fake.
Since I've been found out, I'll just confess.
Just moment.
The reason I couldn't tell anyone I knew the bomb was a fake was because if I had said that, I would have had to explain how I heard about it from Monami.
I did not want to hear that.
Oh no, sword fight. This is easier too. And my game froze. And Danganronpa crashed. And I didn't save. I could try reopening it again and just speedrun it, but I didn't save. Why did it crash now? How far is it gonna send me back? Oh, it's not turning on at all. Huh. I mean, I could just call today's stream. Because it's not opening right now. I'm guessing my computer probably needs to update. Yeah. So I hope you guys had fun. Sorry if so you don't stare into the darkness. Actually, oh. My computer's not working right now. Like, I can't escape the stream. So I probably have to turn it off. Yeah. So I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Nekopara. Bye.